with 16,000 acres reduced to rubble. Okay, Rob, if you can find a clip to show what's going on, there's a ton of them, to rubble. Okay, so Pacific Palisades fired, fueled by 100-mile-per-hour Santa Ana winds, became LA's most destructive blaze within 36 hours, scorching nearly 16,000 acres and destroying over 1,100 structures. Entire neighborhoods, including celebrity homes and landmark like Palisades High School and Sunset Boulevard, were reduced to ash. Harrowing footage showing entire blocks reduced to a little more than building foundations, resembling something out of a post-apocalyptic movie. The inferno displaced 70,000 residents, including celebrities like Anthony Hopkins, Billy Crystal, John Goodman, Mandy Moore, whose homes were obliterated. Paris Hilton expressed being heartbroken beyond words as her Malibu vacation home burned. Ben Affleck sought refuge at Jennifer Garner's house, while Adam Brody and Leighton Meester, $6.5 million property was destroyed. Chet Hanks mourned the loss of his childhood home, urging pray for the Palisades. And by the way, look at that video right there. That doesn't make any sense.
It looks like literal Armageddon.
No, that doesn't make it. That looks like a movie.
This is insane.
Okay, that looks like a movie.
Yeah, for people who've never seen it, this is what a California wildfire looks like with the wind. You know, if you've ever started a campfire and you blow on a few embers to start, a campfire, 70-mile-an-hour winds and dry January, that's what you get.
Rob, can you go on some of the streets of Malibu showing what that was look like? And maybe even if you can go to James Woods' clip, which I posted on Twitter. If you want to go to just go to my personal account and you'll see James Woods. If you go there, if you go up, you'll see, I think it's the second one right there on CNN, by the way. Okay. He's speaking, and James Woods, one of the greatest actors of all time, incredible work that he's done. Somebody that's been living in California his entire life, loves the state. Watch this clip here. Go for it.
I'm 77 years old, man. I can't walk up these hills. It's like Mount Everest there. It's like, pretty steep. So, it's just, I posted this on X, but Sarah was on with her 8-year-old niece last night. She came out, I'm sorry.
Crying.
One day you're swimming in the pool and the next day it's all gone. But she came out with her little Yeti piggy bank for us to rebuild our house.
Jeez.
Oh my gosh. James Woods, we all hope that you will be able to rebuild your house, maybe starting with that little Yeti piggy bank. And we're just glad that you're okay.
He's in a hotel,
your wife is okay.
Sorry,
have your lives. Yeah, no, I mean, this is real and it's raw.
I thought I
and
would be stronger than this.
You don't. You are. You know what? Strength is not measured by whether you hold in crying or not. Strength is what you are doing now and helping your neighbors and shining a light on the great, amazing work of all those firefighters and emergency crews out there. You have so much strength, and we appreciate you coming on to reflect what so many others just like you are experiencing in that raw emotion right now. We wish you the best, you and your wife, as you rebuild your lives. So many people are doing that right now and trying to process what's going on. So, James, and also keep us posted on your 94-year-old neighbor and everything going there. We're going to continue to talk, and we wish you the very best.
He's okay.
Yeah.
They found him. He's in the hospital.
He's okay, yeah.
I just worry. If anybody knows where Robert Trinkteller is, call me, let me know. All right.
That's an important message. And also there's this app that's really important.
So, Tom, you're a California native. You live there. I don't know what part of your life, but I think majority of your life you lived in California.
I was born out there.
Yeah, you were born out there. So when you see this yourself, I mean, obviously we're going to go through a bunch of different angles of what's going on here. How do you process this?
I kind of feel like James Wood a little bit. I remember getting my MBA at Pepperdine, and I would go down to PCH, and that's Las Virgenes and PCH, and then drive south through Malibu. And I saw on the cover of the Wall Street Journal a fire chief narrating for the Wall Street Journal reporter about what had happened. And there was this place called Alice's Restaurant. It was out on the pier. It changed hands over time, but everybody knew where that was, the Malibu Pier, Alice's, and then Moon Shadows. And I was just looking at all that, and I said, wait, I remember that. I remember that. I remember that whole strip of houses there. I remember this. And then the gap, then you get down to downtown Malibu where the city hall is, and then you go further and you're all the way down to Gladstones and Sunset. And I saw this and it was driving. It's like, I've driven that so many times and it's all gone. You could see from PCH to the ocean for a mile and a half. And there's just what's left of phone poles, chimneys. And that was shocking. Then I saw, you have the alphabet streets and you have the, that are up in Palisades. I remember going up there to see friends and stuff that had done well and bought a place up there. And I'm looking at these streets and I'm like, I can't believe this. This is all gone. Everything above the Brentwood curve, you would take Sunset down and there's like this big curve through Brentwood. And then I look up there and I'm like, wow. And then you start to see things about hydrants running dry. And then you would see things about the insurance, these side stories that were on there where I would take my eyes last night off of the fire stories for a little bit and look at these, the stories that were accompanying, and then seeing Karen Bass was coming back and not talking to the media and seeing that the budget cuts that had come for the fire department. And I started to get really angry. And I see 5 people died, and I said, that's tragedy. But, oh, my gosh, I'm so glad neighbors are getting people out. And that number's not higher. When you see all that up there and you see how the wildfires have affected San Diego and the Telegraph fire and all the things that have happened over the last 6 years, I was really overcome, and because I remember all of it, and then I see. And that's just Malibu, and that's what I know about. But the Altadena fire above Pasadena is actually, I think, going to be worse in terms of number of homes.
Can you pull
destroyed.
up the map, Rob, of what areas are affected? That was the one, by the way. But can you pull up the map
Yeah.
of areas affected by fire in California? There's a map that actually shows it if you got it.
You keep going. That's the right to stop. Look at that Malibu fire. Now look above Pasadena. That's the Eaton fire, but that's Altadena above Pasadena. Those neighborhoods up there, Pat, the houses are close together. They're not giant, multi-million-dollar things that you have in Malibu. Those houses are close together. So the number of residents, look at the size of that. That's 3 times the size of the city of Pasadena up there. It's horrifying. And the 101
Granada Hills, by the way, Tom. Granada Hills is being evacuated.
Correct.
People who live in Granada Hills are being evacuated. People who live in Glendale, Pasadena, they're like, messaging me saying, Pat, we don't know what's going to be happening right now. Some people are being asked to leave and go stay at hotels. I mean, this is not just one fire. This is multiple going at the same time because of the strong winds that they're experiencing. And Rob, if you can go a little bit lower to expand on the map of Palisades. So look at how wide that is. Santa Monica's right there to the right. I don't know how much of it's gone to Santa Monica. They're saying the wind is going to slow down by Friday,
which is still a long time.
That's a long time.
And it's zero contained in Malibu. They can't stop it. It's not stopping. And my brother, my mother, my sister, the whole family, they're like Saugus, and they're warning because the winds aren't stopping, and that the power line. It takes one cigarette onto the thing, one power line causing electric fire. It's not good. It's really not good. They're all packed, ready to go.
There's a very famous street called Topanga Canyon, and you can see it right there on the left side of the map. It goes all the way down, and then you can see it at the top. It wiggles, and it goes out to the Woodland Hills, West Hills, Calabasas area. This fire has crossed Topanga Canyon, and if you go in that area, Malibu, the next stop there is Pepperdine University and literally the downtown Malibu, core Malibu. This is so horrifying.
So that's that's taking place. Now, meanwhile, the governor of the state is a guy named Governor Newsom. We speak about him a lot, right, because of the state of California. Trump just tweeted out, I think 10 hours ago on Truth Social, asking him to step down, okay?
Good.
Asking him to step down. I believe if you just go up on Twitter and you type, you should see it. There's a tweet all over the place saying that he may be needing to step down. Is that the one? Yeah, there you go. One of the best and most beautiful parts of the United States and America is burning down to the ground. It's ashes, and Gavin Newsom should resign. This is all his fault. Resign. By the way, then you have Zach Levi, the actor from Shazam, who was the actor playing Kurt Warner. He's been in a lot of different movies. Phenomenal actor. He goes out there and he says, do we not do an investigation on this? Sure. Don't we find out and see what's going on with this here? I mean, some people have responsibilities on what's going on here. What happened here? How do you get here? Then there's a clip of Trump from 2018 standing right next to Newsom telling him of how this in Denmark, they're able to prevent this from happening. Rob, if you can play this clip, go for it.
It's cleaned out and protected. You've got to take care of the floors, the floors of the forests, very important. You look at other countries where they do it differently, and it's a whole different story. I was with the president of Finland, and he said, we have a much different, we're a forest nation. He called it a forest nation. And they spend a lot of time on raking and cleaning and doing things, and they don't have any problem. And when it is, it's a very small problem. So I know everybody's looking at that, to that end, and it's going to work out.
So that's how many years ago, Rob? That's, I think, from 2018, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. Okay, then bring the clip from yesterday, Newsom in tears. I retweeted this. If you have it, great. It's easier.
Did he actually cry, Pat?
Oh, you should see this here. If this is the clip of Anderson Cooper, Rob.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead and play this clip.
We're in the public safety phase. I hate to even ask this question, but the president-elect chose to attack you, blame you for this.
One can't even respond to it. I mean, it's people are literally fleeing. People have lost their lives.
Why, though?
Kids lost their schools. Families completely torn asunder. Churches burned down. This guy wanted to politicize it. I have a lot of thoughts, and I know what I want to say. I won't. I stood next to a president of the United States of America today, and I was proud to be with Joe Biden. And he had the backs of every single person in this community. He didn't play politics, didn't try to divide any of us.
So if you can pull up the clip of Trump, what he said about Newsom yesterday while he's being asked about it. I don't know if you have that or not, but
I'll find it.
Here's the point. While this is taking place, this is where the part about DeSantis that I love, he may not be the best marketer. He may not be a guy that even likes to be around a lot of people, where he just wants to be with his family and his kids. He doesn't want to be out there doing the shaking hands and all that other stuff. But oh my God, that guy gets shit done, right? DeSantis. So DeSantis' team offers help to California. How can we help? But I want you to think about this, folks. So this is the part that irritates me the most with Newsom. So can you tell me what state in America is known for having the best startup founders? What state, Tom, in America has the most startup founders that build the most billion-dollar companies that's a startup?
Silicon Valley.
And it's not even close.
Not even close. There's a little bit in Austin, a little bit of Boston, a little bit of New York,
what do you need?
California.
What level of thinking do you need for that? Like, what's the one skill set you need to build a billion-dollar company? You sit in a room with 2 or 3 people and you say, here's a problem. How are they fixing it today? How can we do it better?
Vision, creativity, innovation.
Period. Okay.
And problem-solving skills.
And guess what? By the way, the one thing you have to give credit to Trump, I was thinking about this last night. The job of a president is to bring around people who are smarter than you in areas that you don't have topics on. Who did Trump bring around him? Vivek, Musk, Tulsi, RFK, all these people that maybe in certain areas they know more than you do, right? That is the reflection of a great leader. Newsom has access to all these people. Who's smarter than you is sitting around trying to fix this problem right now in the state of California? Who? Who have you brought in? FYI. Do you know, Rob, if you Google the following thing here, Google what percentage of fires in California are man-made. And watch what PBS says. What percentage of fires in California are man-made? Look at the number all the way at the top, Rob. Just go all the way to the top. Zoom in. Look at that right there. CalMatters.org. Whether purposeful, reckless, or simply careless, people are responsible for 95% of California's wildfires. That's from 6 months ago. Let me explain to what this means. A hurricane, is it man-made? No, it's called a natural disaster. So Florida deals with hurricanes that are not man-made. For those of you guys that go into some of the thinking, stay with me here. But it's a natural disaster, comes and hits it, and boom, twice, Tampa. Tampa got hit twice in a span of a week and a half, 2 weeks, right? DeSantis can't sit there and be like, well, it's laws we got to create against the water and Mother Nature. Stop it. Stop it, Mother Nature. But Newsom, 95% of these fires are man-made. 95%. How much of this can be prevented? You're on the flipping coast. You're on the coast. What do you have access to? Smartest brains. You have the water. And you hear a video that they're talking about the fish, these small little fish that they want to save. Do you have that video there that they're so proud to save the fish and they're using the water that, not that one, Rob, because that's one with Rogan from 2 months ago. There's one with, that he's talking about fish and he's standing right next to it. You just put Newsom Fish, California. Newsom Fish, California. And he's standing with a group of people and they're celebrating. I think it's that one right there to your left. Is that just a picture or video?
Photo. I'll find the video.
So while this is happening, while all this stuff is going on, this is one part of it, right? With Newsom. Adam. You're seeing a story like this in California. You've seen the stuff with, Florida getting hit by hurricanes. Florida's getting hit by all this stuff. And then you see California fires. Newsom. How do you process this?
I'm just so grateful that I am born and raised and live in Florida at this point. I mean, leadership matters. Figure it out. It started like lives on his own.
What do you have?
This thing in a yurt. Do you know what a yurt is?
No.
Google
What's
that.
A yurt?
It's like, you'll see, he's just kind of like this dude that is very artistic, wants to be away from the world. There it is right there. Living in something like this, just kind of started like lives on his own.
What do you have?
Is it artistic? What it was, James Woods, 24 billion.
That was.
Look at her week. Amazing. My life.
She's being asked here in the airport.
She cut the LA budget, the fire budget by Bass, who apparently was in Ghana.
Doing what?
Doing what? How much money did Gavin Newsom unaccount for?
$24 billion.
$24 billion gone. And apparently, the mayor of LA, Karen Bass, who apparently was in Ghana.
Doing what?
Doing what?
Doing what?
Apparently, she cut the firefighting budget. This beautiful person right here. Watch what she says here. It's incredible. One of the best speeches I've ever heard in my life.
She's being asked here in the airport.
She cut the LA budget, the fire budget, by $20 million. Are you kidding me?
Almost $20 million.
And then the LA fire chief.
Just last week, not to interrupt you.
Oh,
sorry,
really?
I'm sorry to interrupt you on a serious subject. That was just last week.
Last week. Amazing.
Play this clip, Rob.
Yeah, imagine. Look what she has to say here. Incredible. Inspirational. Watch this.
An apology for being absent while their homes were burning. Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor?
Look at her go. That's your leadership, California. That's your leadership, LA.
Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today? Elon Musk
maybe
says
she's
that you're utterly
jet-lagged from her flight
incompetent.
back
Are you
from
considering your
Ghana.
position?
What do you have to say to your constituency? What do you have to say to your people?
Madam Mayor, have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today who are dealing with this disaster?
Oh, this one's a good one right here. Watch.
Well, look, she just got off the airplane, which is wild. I don't know how he's in there. Right, Tom? This is her.
Well, shout out to him for doing his job.
Oh, I love it.
She doesn't even.
Do you think you should have been visiting Ghana when this was unfolding?
Guys, we can't hear you. Guys are talking. Back up a little bit. I can't hear what he's asking.
He's just like, what the hell do you have
Go
to
back
say?
a little bit.
She
I
has
want
nothing
to hear,
to
not
say.
that long. Go a little bit further down when she's asking about Ghana. Right there. Okay, play this and then we'll stop it. Go ahead.
No apology for them? Do you think you should have been visiting Ghana while this was unfolding back home?
You can pause it right there.
Yeah,
Wait, let me ask you. Did she leave after the fire?
No,
or
she was
she
there.
in Ghana?
She flew back.
No, that's not what I'm asking. What I'm asking is, was she, fire happened, then she left? Or
No, I think she was already there. She
was already there.
Then she flew back because of the fires.
Correct.
Okay.
But you know why? What
She
what
left
is
town-
she doing about something? Yeah, go ahead, Rob.
She left town on Saturday, so just 5 days ago, 6 days ago.
I want to see
Did
what
we
her
know
first
on
speech is going to
Saturday
be.
that the fire was going to be happening? When did we know warnings about things that's going to happen in L.A.?
Look up Santa Ana wind warnings.
By the way, while you're looking this up, did you see who the LA fire chief is?
Yeah, LGBTQ. That's all she is.
I know we throw around, it's a DEI hire, it's a DEI hire. Literally, this person right here.
Crowley.
She
Kristen
became
Crowley.
the first lesbian woman. Did you see what Alex Jones had to say? He's
Play
like,
this,
I don't
play
care
this
if you can eat Do your job.
Inspired. She took time out of her already busy schedule to tell us about her vision for the department's future, one that includes a 3-year strategic plan to increase diversity.
People ask me, well, what number are you looking for? I say, I'm not looking for a number. It's never enough.
Out of 3,300 city firefighters, only 115 are women right now. She's already looking at ways to change that. She's quick to point out that doing so has a greater purpose, attracting the best and brightest for the job.
They feel included, they feel valued, and they feel part of a cohesive team.
But she also checks another
which
box
is way more important than saving lives.
And here's my thing.
And preventing fires.
You're the mayor of LA. You are in Ghana to attend the inauguration of President John Dramani Mahama. Why are Californians paying for that? Unbelievable. In fact, whenever Gavin Newsom or any of these Democrat leftists say, don't politicize it, that's code for don't criticize our terrible decisions, okay? Let's talk about California. Cal Fire, the state's firefighting agency, has spent over $30 billion. It's funny that we just throw that word around now. $30 billion on battling and preventing wildfires since 2017. That's about $750 per California resident. Their budget has grown 72% in that time. Yet despite all that spending, what do we have to show for it? Mismanagement with water and the poor results. And then Gavin Newsom's handling of wildfire. Rob, I sent you this article. In 2021, Cap Radio exposed that Gavin Newsom, look at the headline of it, Rob, misled the public about his efforts, claiming that the project covered 90,000 acres. The state's own data showed that it was only 11,399. And where's the rest of that money going? His priorities are where they should be, okay? Billions to fight homelessness, like Adam said, and it's disappeared into a black hole. And then he's busy campaigning for Joe Biden. He's doing diversity of no IDs, illegals. And then if you think about it, Californians had a chance. You guys had a chance to get his ass out with Larry Elder, okay? And I'm curious to ask you guys.
And it wasn't even close. By the way.
What is it going to take?
Oh, it's coming.
It's because now it's affecting. It's in the hills of my heart goes out to everybody, but nobody cares when it's the regular person, Pat. Nobody cares when it's homeless. Now it's starting to hit the people that are up in the hills. When do you think that's going to happen?
When you say it's coming, I want to know what you mean by that. Please.
Yeah, I got you. So, and Tom, I'm sure you got a lot of stuff to say about this as well. Before I give you my answer, Rob, can you pull up that one story about what Gavin Newsom does with the water and the fish? I want to finish this first before we go to the next segment that has to do, probably for me, on how change is coming to California, Rob. Play the clip of Newsom talking about the fish. You just showed me the video in text. You have it somewhere around there. If you can just find that clip and show it. Yeah, it should be somewhere right there. Is this the one about fish and what they did?
Yes, the dams.
Okay, the dams. That's right. Watch this here. Go for it.
Governor Kate Brown, Governor Gavin Newsom, U.S. Secretary of Interior Deb Haaland, and tribal leaders all coming together to celebrate the world's largest dam removal along the Klamath River Thursday. The groups meeting at Iron Gate Fish Hatchery in Hornbrook. Last month, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission issued the final approval of the historic plan to remove 4 dams on the Klamath River in California and Oregon. The decision is a culmination of years of work on the project's licensee, Pacificor, Pacific Power's parent company, on the parts of Oregon and California, and several state and local agencies, along with several tribes.
The folks out there that exercised your leadership every single day, that dialectic that we had throughout this process, where you expected and demanded more, you expressed that at times, and sometimes it was uncomfortable. Other times it was absolutely justifiable.
I just want to right here. This is in the clip. It's the other clip you had at the top. That's the fish, Rob. The fish. Yeah, go for it. Watch this.
Largest dam removal project in U.S. history and one of the most significant, if not the most significant, water restoration project, bringing back salmon and steelhead into this basin. This project could not have happened without extraordinary partnerships with tribal nations, and of course our partners in the north.
Watch this. Pause it and go to the article that was sent about the 50% of state water. 55% of state water was just sent your way. Is this one? Okay, so watch this. Gavin Newsom still agitating for urban water restrictions while ignoring 50% of state's water sent to the Pacific. California reservoirs were designed to provide a steady 5-year supply for all users and were filled up to the top in June of 2019. He said, nah, we have to take care of fish. That's what we have to do. And by the way, some of the rumors came out about the fact that water wasn't there, not enough firefighters to fight the fires.
Caruso said it, Pat. Caruso was called in and goes, the fire department was showing up and they're like, there's no water in the fire hydrants. Like, what the hell are we talking about? And where's the accountability going to be? What's his name was right. The actor's right. Because we're going to jump onto the next disaster whenever it comes. Who's going to hold this guy accountable?
Is this the one that Caruso says there's no water?
Is this Robbie?
Yeah, there's a great clip because I'm going to find it, but they go from that phone call to and the news reporter says, well, we haven't seen any evidence that there is a lack of access to water. Then they go straight to a field reporter who goes, they have no water.
There's no water.
What, Rob, I don't know if you can just do this real quick. Pull up a map of the United States, if you don't mind. Rob.
Here, let's...
While you're doing that.
I can only do one thing.
Yeah, I definitely want to see that video.
I'm sorry.
Find the Caruso clip, if you can. I see stuff here.
This clip gives perspective to people in America who don't know about this stuff.
Former LA mayoral candidate and real estate developer Rick Caruso criticizing the city's response to the windstorm and fires. He says officials should have been more prepared.
The real issue to me is twofold. We've had decades to go remove the brush in these hills that spreads so quickly. And the second is you got to have water. And my understanding is the reservoir was not refilled in time and in a timely manner to keep the hydrants going. So that's a failure, whether on DWP's part or another city agency. But this is basic stuff. This isn't high science here. And it's all about leadership and management that we're seeing a failure of. And all of these residents are paying the ultimate price for that.
So, okay.
Despite what you have heard from Caruso, no firefighters have told us that they are running out of water.
And let's go out to Gigi Graciette. She is live in Pacific Palisades. I know your signal's not the best, but Gigi, what can you tell us?
Well, firefighters have told me they have no water on this block, and you may be able to make out the ember storm that we're in the middle of right now.
Oh, my
this
God.
is going to be a total
This is
loss.
when you try to, what a way to go that she says no firefighters have told us this.
Well, let's talk about what was that reporter doing? That reporter was politicizing the point. Who is she trying to protect? Protecting leadership. There are two things. There's just two things in California that are issues here. Number one is power management, and number two is forestry management. Forestry management, cutting the lines. You fly on an airplane, and you see those power lines up there with those large, look like robots standing, that are carrying power lines. And you look at the way that there would be almost like little valleys cut. That is done intentionally to provide fire breaks and to provide access there. The second thing that Rick Caruso brings up is there is proper brush management. And with all of the loss in California and the budget that's been used for everything but, right? We're going to, you lose it. Now, let's go, water. Here's the impact. What you didn't hear there, let me translate it for you, America. When it snows in the mountains and it melts in the spring, all the water comes down, becomes a creek, becomes a river. And where does a river ultimately go? Out to the ocean. Mm-hmm. And long ago they said, maybe we should put reservoirs here because that's fresh water. And we could collect the water so it doesn't just go into the ocean and collect it in reservoirs. And then we could pump it for people. We could use it for fire. We could use it for a lot of things because there's a lot of people moving to California, a lot of people here. That's what that Governor Newsom, in the name of some fish, said, we're removing these dams. And when they remove the dams create the reservoirs. So now go to LA and there's management of dams and reservoirs weren't refilled. And if you fly into LA or Burbank, you look down and you'll see these great big, what are those lakes on top of the mountains? Those are reservoirs there to feed and protect, the people of Los Angeles. And it is irresponsible management. I take you back to the election. Forget that it was about Trump. Go look at the red versus blue. It was bigger than just Trump. The people of California are screaming for leadership. Orange County went red. Outside San Diego went red. California got this huge squeeze in red. If that election was held today, this isn't about whether Trump carries California or not. It's about whether the people are screaming for new leadership or not. And they had an opportunity under Larry Elder, but it just didn't get done. But now we've had 2 more seasons of wildfire and this. And you see that? That red there, forget what it stands for. Just say from 2020, 2024, people are getting increasingly unhappy and increasingly discontent with leadership. They want something different.
Here's what's going to happen, though, Tom. And all these clips you watch, and you're talking about California, right? I get we started making videos about homeowners insurance in Florida and in California. We've been making these homeowners insurance videos for the last few years. Okay. Many of you guys have seen it. I just made one 4 months ago about the California homeowners insurance and what's going to be taking place, Rob.
Fair plan.
Yeah. It's called the California Insurance Time Bomb that I did from 4 months ago. If you just go type in California Insurance Time Bomb, you'll see that came up.